Microphones are great. It allows you to hear me right now. And basically everything that is not a direct conversation with someone, most things are thanks to a microphone. If you watch TV, listen to the radio, listening to Spotify, playing a game with voice acting, all of that are possible because of microphones. But obviously there are a whole bunch of kinds, price ranges, use cases in terms of microphones. So I kind of want to show you or see what is what and what is best for you, right? The thing about microphones is most people, they don't really notice a good mic, they would only notice a bad mic, right? I mean, I'm guilty of that when I look at some videos on this channel. Some of the audio is terrible, and even someone that does not pay attention to that will notice that. A video is always made of two things, and that's the image and the audio, and it is 50-50, right? It's not that the image is 80% important and the audio is 20. No, if the audio is bad, the whole video looks kind of bad. And to be fair, the mic that I'm wearing right now, I'm not very happy with that audio, but we'll get into that later. So yeah, like I said, if you have a good enough mic, it would sound great for most people, right? If they're listening to music, podcasts, if they're looking at a YouTube video, like in this case, if the audio is fine, for most people, it will sound great. If the audio is bad, for probably all people, it'll be like, oh, this is kind of weird sounding, right? But I have some microphones here to, listen to the difference. I will do mic tests for all of these, and it will just be raw audio, no editing, nothing, just straight out of the mic. So first of all, we basically got the cheapest ones, and I would say it's free because 10 years ago you got these for free with your phone. So these are like the iPhone Earpods. It has a mic on it. If you just buy them, it's like 20 euros, or you got them for free. But I think most people nowadays still have like a pair of these laying around. And keep in mind, these are prices for now in Belgium, so it might change later on. This mic is just a random recommended sponsored mic from Amazon, 41 euros. It's USB-C, so it's just kind of plug and play. You get like a little pop filter, you get like the little strings to keep the mic balanced. You get a stand with it. So overall, for 41 euros, this package is pretty good. It's very plasticky, but if it does the job, it does the job. Then we got the industry standard, SM58. It has been the standard for God knows how long. It is just generally very, very, very good audio for fairly cheap. So it's 100 euros, around 100 euros. The only downside, it is not kind of plug and play because it's with XLR. So you will need maybe a little sound table or a sound card or whatever that takes XLR. Yeah, that's that. It doesn't need phantom power though, so it doesn't need any extra power. It just, if you have the XLR to your PC or whatever, it is kind of just plug and play. But that is the SM58. Then we got a very popular streaming or gaming mic or whatever. It's a little bit older at this point. There's a newer version already, but this is the HyperX Quadcast S. Nowadays, I could find it for around 110 euros. So it is very similar in price to the SM58, but it's very different use cases. This is USB-C, so it is quite easy to connect to a PC. The nice thing about this is that you have a gain dial on the bottom. So you can just use this to just do some quick gaining. And then on the back of the mic, you have these, I think it's the right thing in English, polar patterns. I think that's the correct way to say it. But it's basically a switch to tell the mic where to record from. So you have an option to record just from the front. So if you're just sitting in front of it, it just records you. You have an option to go front and back. You have the option to go all the way around. So it's nice if you have a group or you're doing an interview or something like that. This mic can do it all. And then you have a mute button up on the top. It's just touch sensitive, so it's very easy to mute. That's why it's so nice for streamers, for example, right? Because it's a quick tap and you're muted. Then we have the DJI Mic 2. It's like a combo set with 2 microphones and then the receiver, which is actually what I'm using right now. So this is just the raw audio out of that mic. It is going for around 250, 260 euros at this time. I was expecting more, although some of the audio samples I've heard online sounded pretty good. But this is just raw audio, right? So if you tweak it a bit, it'll probably sound better. But I got a feeling that the Rode mics the Rode competitor mics does sound a little bit better. But in terms of convenience, it's pretty easy. Just kind of, again, plug and play. It goes into like a camera. It can connect to your phone. You can plug it into your phone with USB-C. So it's fairly easy to use, and you know, it does sound pretty good, but for a pretty high price. So you're paying definitely for not only the name, but also just, you know, the convenience of having this, being able to move around with a wireless mic. But yeah, so that is 250 euros. And then we have, you know, undoubtedly the most popular podcast streamer mic. It's the Shure SM7b. You've probably seen these around a ton. I use it myself as well. So yeah, this is very popular for a reason, but we'll hear that with the sound test. The only downside, it's not a big downside, but like it's like the SM58, it is with XLR, but this one does need a little bit more power, because if you just plug it into like a small little like desk, like a sound desk, it's not gonna give much output. So you have this, so I personally put this little thing in between that like gives 25 decibels extra. So with that, you know, it does really help. You can unscrew the back and then you can like adjust some things on the mic as well, but it's not as easy as like, for example, with the HyperX. But like I said, you've probably seen these before, but these for me go around like 380, 390 euros. But I feel like this lineup is kind of what most people are looking at. Of course, you have mics of like 1,000 euros, 5,000, 10,000 and all of that. But I feel like for people that watch this video or people that are just, you know, in the market for a mic. So we'll listen to all of them right now. So here I was explaining that the room is still empty and the echo is quite bad, so it will influence the microphones. But this audio was lost to time, so that's why I'm re-recording this one again. Obviously my lips won't sync up, but I'm still in the same room, still no furniture in here, so this is what the audio would sound like straight from this mic. Sorry to interrupt, I am editing this video right now and I'm listening back to all the audio again. And I did the test and, you know, recorded something on my phone itself to hear the phone microphone, and you know, it is quite a big difference. I mean, it's like 10 years of like microphone development, I guess, in like devices like this. So I still stand by it is easy that you can like have it on you, because you know, with a phone it's you know, quite big, or you can't really do it hands-free. So I still stand by that. But yeah, listening back to it, it is quite bad, but it still has a use case, I think. So yeah, I just wanted to add that on. All right, so what you're hearing right now is the $40 Amazon mic. I did have to turn down the gain while recording this quite a lot, but I think why this is it's not meant to be used like this close up. It's meant to be used to be sitting on your desk right in front of you, like 1.5 meters away, or like 1 meter away or whatever. And you know, that you need a little bit more gain because of that. But luckily, if you're recording on Audacity or on OBS or Streamlabs or whatever, you can always turn down the gain if you do want it to put it closer to your mouth. So yeah, let me know what you think about this audio quality for 40 euros. And then right here we have the HyperX Quadcast S. As you can see, I didn't show it while I had the mics on the desk because I had no power there, but there is like an indicator here, like there's LED lights that you can change out and all of that, and when you mute, it also goes out. So you know when you're muted, and you know, like in a glance, that you know you're muted or not, right? So for around 100 euros at this time, you know, mics are not like phones. They don't really go out of date. If it's a good mic, it's a good mic. So don't worry about buying an older mic. Like the SM58 is from like, I don't know, like the 1700s. So yeah, don't worry about that. But do let me know for 100 euros all the features that it has, if you like this mic or not. Because right now it's recording me from the front, right? Obviously this room is not ideal to test this, but if I turn around the mic, you will not be able to hear me or understand me that well. But if I talk to it with the switch turned to interview, you will be able to hear me a lot better than I did before. So it is quite nice to have these features, but yeah, do let me know what you think about this one. All right, so this is the Shure SM58, which you can get for around 100 euros, right? So for 100 euros, what you're getting is, you know, a quite small mic, XLR mic, so it works with a lot of like audio tables and all of that. It's not as plug and play as it is with USB-C, but you know, the results speak for themselves. It is quite a inexpensive but a very capable mic. The pops are not great though, so you really have to put the gain down and see what you can do afterwards to kind of iron out those mistakes. But overall, for 100 euros, this is what you're getting. All right, so right now you're listening to the Shure SM7b, and like I mentioned, you know, the echo here is not helping, but it is kind of giving you an idea how this mic will sound just straight out of the microphone without any editing or anything like that. So yeah, you can get this mic right now for around 380 euros or something like that. It's up to you to decide if that is worth it or if you like the sound or not. All right, so that was the sound test, and a few things that stand out immediately. The free earbuds, this 40 euro microphone. If you're just starting out and you want to step up your audio, and this is what I was talking about at the start, if you have decent audio, it sounds amazing for most people. If you're not like an audiophile or whatever, this gets the job done and more. Like, this sounds great for the price, in my opinion. Of course, you can have a completely different opinion. That's obviously just fine. But even me, I would be fine using this when I'm streaming, for example. Obviously, it's not making your voice sound very warm or anything like that, but it is, for the price, really good. And you get to stand with it as well. It doesn't have the large range, yeah, no. I would be happy if I paid 40 euros for this and got this. Honestly, pretty good, pretty good. Then we got the SM58. And I think you can hear for 100 euros why this is just the industry standard. It is a very, very good mic. It does make your voice sound very warm, very nice, even just raw out of the mic itself. The only thing is it does need quite a bit of tweaking. It's still pretty sensitive to like pops and like things in your voice that you can't really control. So with the gain and with the distance, you can kind of, you need to tweak it a little bit. But other than that, if you want to really step up your game from this to something that is not that much more expensive, the SM58 is just an amazing option. And I feel like even looking at YouTube videos, a lot of people don't really look at this one and immediately go for like the SM7b, for example. But I feel like even for me, this would have been more than fine. I actually got this mic after I got the SM7b, so yeah, I mean, just I was not expecting anything else from this mic, but yeah, pretty good. Then we got the HyperX. It sounds good. I wouldn't say it sounds as good as the SM58 or the SM7b, but here you're really getting like the features around it, I feel like. So in terms of like the gain that is on the mic, the mute, and then the ability to change where the mic is picking up sounds. So it is not the most detailed or not the most like warm sounding mic out there. But I feel like if you want just a mic that can just do it all and is very easy to use, this is a great choice. So I actually used it back in the day when I was doing like VR, for example, and the mic was a little bit farther away from me. I can just up the gain up here and just still have it record everything that's going on. But it is just very versatile. You can just grab this mic and be sure that you have everything that you need, that you want to use it for, and it's plug and play with USB-C. So overall, a great choice just for like everything. And then the mic you've been listening to, the whole video already. The DJI Mic 2, but to be fair, for how small it is, for how easy it is to use, you can even record directly on the mic itself, so you don't have to even connect it to anything. It is really good. It's quite expensive, yes, but for me, it's just very nice to be able to sit here without a microphone. I can move around or if I'm like, I don't know, showing you things like my last video. It is just nice to have like free hands and not needing to think about where I need to speak. So with this one, I just know it's just recording my voice wherever I am, or however far I am from things. So for that, good mic, pretty expensive, but it just works. And sometimes you just want something that just works, and even if you have to pay a little bit more for it. And then we have the SM7b, and I think you can see why this is just widely used as like a streamer podcast mic or whatever, it just sounds great. And even just straight out of the mic, it sounds very warm, it sounds very cozy. It's a very good, you know, streamer, podcast, reading mic. It just gives a very calm vibe. It just makes your voice sound really, really nice. So I really like the sound of this mic. I know, shocker, you know, a lot of people use this and like the sound of this mic, but that's for a good reason, because it is just very good. It is true that it's a little bit more of a hassle to get this working fine or like correctly with the XLR, with the extra, you know, decibels it needs. But if you do get it working and it's set up, it's just an amazing mic. But in terms of price, you know, you're almost paying 400 euros for this. Is it really necessary? For someone who is, you know, interested in audio and all of that, for me personally, I think so. But if I think about it, do I really, really need it? Maybe not. Like the SM58, if I want like a nicer sounding mic, does an amazing job. It just really deals with like pops and like the noises of your mouth very, very, very well. Like I never had this have like a puh or like a clip that much or anything like that. It's just it just eats everything up. Like it can handle anything, right? So that's why I'm such a fan of this. But if I had to pick one mic that I have to use for forever, you know, I cannot have another mic again, I would go for the HyperX. Not because it's the best in any category, like it's definitely not. Like every single one here does something better or is cheaper or comes with more or whatever it may be. But it just does all things good. For this one, you know, to get it working, to get it set up, it's just the mic you install and it just kind of stays there, in my opinion. With this one, it is quite expensive. It is convenient, but you know, it doesn't sound amazing or you know, you have to charge it and all of that. For the SM58, you know, the convenience thing again, it's XLR. It's kind of a mic that you have to have like a little setup with. So that's why I'm not taking that one. Although it is, in my opinion, a very close second. Then we got the Amazon mic, the Tonor mic. It's great, but the thing is, it's 40 euros. The Quadcast S you can get around 100. It's not that big of a price difference. Of course, if you're really, really tight on the budget, this is a great option. But I feel like all the features and all the things you get with this one, it is worth the step up in price, in my opinion. And then obviously we got the Earpods. You know, it's not gonna wow anyone. But if you're starting out and you wanna, you know, not use the mic of your phone, this is an option. And it's kind of like on you as well, so you can kind of move around, I guess. So yeah, overall, the Quadcast S, I think, is the most complete, great mic to use, in my opinion. You can have a different opinion, of course, that's great. If you have any counterpoints or something like that, just let me know, it's all good. But, you know, if I'm behind my computer, I will still use the SM7b, it's there, it's set up, and that's it. But like I said, if I need to pick one that I can only use for the rest of my life, I think this would be just the best choice overall. Not number one in most categories, but overall just the most consistent good one across the board, price-wise, convenience-wise, audio-wise, all of that. So yeah, that's why I'm picking that one. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys very soon. Goodbye.